Sawadee welcome to Hot Thai Kitchen. It's been quite a while since I've shown you guys how to make a Thai drink. So it's summer in Vancouver, so let's do it right now. So I'm going to show you a drink that I think is quite new. I started seeing it appear in Thailand a couple years ago. I had it last year and I fell in love. It was refreshing, easy to make, and super fun to drink. So I am making something called Nam Woon Bai Toey or Nam Bai Toey Woon. Couple ways to say it. So nam means a drink, bai tei is pandan leaves, and woon is agar jelly. So think of this as like our version of bubble tea, but a little lighter and easier to chew. Let's get started. So we're gonna make pandan tea. So we gotta have pandan leaves. So pandan leaves, for those of you who don't know, look like this. It is an aromatic leaf. It is our main flavor in Thai desserts. It's got a very floral aroma, almost a little bit coconutty. It's just so beautiful. If you haven't tried it, you gotta check it out. You can get it fresh at Asian grocery stores, or more likely you can find it frozen. What I wanna do is I'm just gonna tie it into a knot. And I'm just tying these so that one, it fits in my pot. Two, the act of tying them brews the leaves and it helps the aromatic juices come out more easily. There you go. And then I'm just gonna drop them into my boiling water. Whee! See, and they fit perfectly. Now my hand smells good. Now, in addition to pandan, you can just do pandan leaves if you want. Most of the drinks that I had in Thailand is just pandan, but I like to bump it up with a little bit of lemongrass. And I'm just gonna bruise it, smash it with my pestle here. And you can use whatever heavy things or just the back of your knife as well. Just gonna cut these into chunks. Whee! All right. So now I'm gonna let this simmer for about 15 minutes. And while that's going, let's make the jelly. So for this, I want the color to be a little bit more vibrant green. So I'm gonna make pandan juice and get all that green color in there. So I'm just gonna cut some of my leaves here into a blender. Some plain water. Blitz that up. Green goodness. So now we need to strain it. So the fibers have gotten pretty small. So I find that you really need a super fine cloth strainer for this. So a mesh sieve is going to do quite as good of a job. Time to bring out your coffee sock once again. So you've got this probably for my Thai coffee, Thai iced tea, and now you can use it for this. Smells good. And depending on the color of your pandan leaves, sometimes I find if you want to just bump it up with a little green food coloring just for something a little more vibrant, that's totally fine. I'm actually pretty happy with where mine is right now. Now to make my jelly, I am going to use the classic Thai jellifying ingredient, and that is agar powder. If you want to know more about it, you've never heard of it, I have a whole video talking about what it is and where you can get it. Just gonna sprinkle that into my pandan juice here. Make sure this is still cold. You can, for this recipe, use gelatin instead. It'll just be a different texture, but when we go to put it together, there are some things to note, okay? So make sure watch to the end if you're going to use gelatin instead. I'm going to give this a stir and I'm going to bring it to a boil. Make sure you keep stirring so that the powder doesn't fall all to the bottom with a mini whisk, of course. Okay, so it's come to a full boil, and yes, as much as I love a mini whisk, it was too short and my hand was getting too hot, so a longer spatula it is for this one. And I want to check that it's dissolved completely using my usual method. I put some in a spoon, I pour some off, and I just check that there are no still little tiny grains of powder still stuck on there. And we add some sugar, and you can make this as sweet or as not sweet as you like. It's completely up to you. I'm just gonna scrape off all this green stuff off the sides because all that's color and it's good stuff. And that's it, super easy. That's the jelly. And now I'm just gonna pour this into my mold here. I'm using a large silicone mold because I just want this to be flat, right? I want the jelly to be small, otherwise you can't suck it up with a straw. And now that just needs to cool until it's set, and then make sure you chill it. And we're almost done. This smells like a spa right now. You can just use a fine mesh skimmer to fish everything out. And by the way, you can serve this tea hot. It's super soothing. Maybe put a little honey on it. This is actually what a lot of massage parlors in Thailand serve you after a massage because it's so soothing. And so at this point, the tea is done and you can sweeten it, just add sugar as much or as little as you want. But I'm actually gonna leave it unsweetened and then serve it with the simple syrup. I like to do that with drinks. That way people who are drinking it can make it as sweet or as not sweet as they want. And to make a simple syrup, it is really simple. You just do equal parts water and sugar. Cook it over heat until the sugar is completely dissolved. And that's basically it. So the jelly has set, and this is the joy of a silicone mold. Whoops. It's so easy to get out, but I still need to sort of run my knife along the edges. It'll work. It's barely big enough. Hup. Anyway, we're chopping it all up so it doesn't have to come out beautifully in one piece. Ta-da! Look at that. And then you want to chop it up into really whatever size you want, but you want to make sure it's small enough that it will fit in whatever straw you are using. So I've seen like if you got a bubble tea straw, you can cut them big, sort of bubble tea size, or if you have a regular straw, just cut them into like really, really small pieces and it's still going to be fun to suck up, okay? So I find it, and using a mini cleaver is the best thing to do. Yes, and as you cut these, they will kind of fly all over the place and you can just pick them up. And that's something you can't easily do with gelatin because gelatin is so much softer and it also melts at a lower temperature, so your warm hands might even melt it. So that's why agar jelly is the way to go. So now, once you cut these, you want to make sure that you don't store them in a bowl like this, that you put them in your tea and let it just hang out in the tea, because otherwise the nature of agar is that once you cut them like this, over time the water will kind of leach out of them, which is not too bad, but if you kind of, you want to keep the texture and the consistency, you don't want any water leaching out of it, right? Okay, let's put it all together. Whee! I want a lot of jelly. And then since my tea is not sweetened, I have to add some simple syrup. So for me, I find that about a tablespoon of simple syrup is enough, but for you, that could be totally different. So make sure you taste and adjust accordingly. There's a beautiful iced tea. And by the way, you do not have to wait for this tea to cool down before you add the jelly to it, because the nature of agar is it will not melt unless you actually like bring it to a boil on the stove again. So even if this is still warm, even if it's hot, you can still put the jelly in it, no problem. Not something you can do with gelatin. You have to make sure this is actually cold before you put gelatin in it. All right, some ice. Oh, look at that. Look how fun that looks. And I got my bubble tea straw. And now with the rise of popularity of non-disposable... Oh, I think I used the wrong side. It's supposed to be this side down. Anyway, with the popularity of non-disposable, reusable straws, they're actually making bubble tea size reusable straws that you can buy as well. But I happen to have these from a long time ago. All right, let's see how it tastes. And it smells so good. So fun. So refreshing. Just the aroma of the lemongrass and the pandan just work together so well. And because these are squares, the way they enter your mouth so quickly, it's just like a really cool sensation. You chew on it, it's slightly sweet. Just a fun drink. Perfect for the summer. Your kids are gonna love it. And you can also get them involved because it's super easy, right? So I hope you give this a try. The recipe, as always, will be on hotthaikitchen.com. And when you make it, I definitely want to see a photo, so share it with me on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. If you haven't subscribed to the show, make sure you do so you don't miss an episode like this. And click the little bell icon as well so you get a notification when I post a new video. And if you love the show and you want to support us, please check out our Patreon link in the description box below. And I will see you next time for your next delicious Thai drink.